the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for March 4th, show number 169. Joining me, as always, Jerry Keyser and Ron Miller, back from the sick list.
Welcome back, Ron.
There you go.
Yeah, glad to be back.
If we could just find the cure for your internet, we'd be happy. We'd be all good.
Yeah. Well, our friends at T-Mobile absolutely, positively promised me a phone call from the lead engineer tomorrow.
Okay. Tell them to watch a replay of the video and tell them that this is their representation of their service.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I'd have to get a hold of the phone. I'd have to get a hold of the phone people rather than the internet people. This is all we get with the phone.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Coming at you live from the Hammer Down Racing Report home studios. It's the Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. I'm starting a new thing on Twitter we'll talk about a little bit later. Make sure to follow us on YouTube as well. And you can, of course, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, whatever it may be, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever. It all works. It all counts. It doesn't matter. As long as you give us a listen, we appreciate it. Tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with Andy King of the Dirt Track Truck Series, something that I believe Jerry has a little bit of familiarity with.
I've heard of it once or twice.
You've heard of it? Yeah. So we'll talk about that, what that is, where that's going to be, and all the ins and outs of it. So looking forward to that. Also, make sure to check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. So if you missed anything, all of the social media or podcasting platforms that I just talked about, you can find it all at hammerdownracingreport.com. That's all you have to remember, really. Just go there. You can find all the information. There's sponsorship information there as well. Speaking of which, thanks to Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet the race, for being our presenting sponsor. Make sure to, I'm working on it. Just relax. There's a lot going on here.
Another one of those organic shows.
Yeah. Make sure to support our sponsors that support us, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this show. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys. I saw a pretty cool thing that Craig Mintz had. He had like a printed non-slip surface on the lip of his hauler. It looked pretty cool. I don't know if did you see that, Jerry, or am I the only one that saw that? I may have been the only one. So, all right. I think I saw it on Twitter. It was pretty cool looking. Anyways, Real Geese Silhouette Decoy is the most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced. They're manufactured right here in the U.S. Check them out at realgeese.com or call 419-800-8100. Millstream Speedway, their schedule is out. Racing will be resuming in May. Check it out at millstreamspeedway.net or follow them on Twitter, Facebook. I believe we're going to be doing a Facebook Live maybe next week or the week after. I'm not exactly sure. What happened to Ron? His hands have been here. Oh, okay. You're still there.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
And of course, Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. Tell them Hammer Down Racing Report sent you, and you'll save 10% off.
Hi, Dean.
Yes, hi, Dean. Hammer Down Racing Report sent me. Do I get 10% off? Yes, no, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
If the Hammer Down Race Report sent you, of course.
We'll be giving away a Big D's Pizza for our How Many winner a little bit later on tonight. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars, where the service is very good when we're talking about servicing race cars.
Spectacular service.
Absolutely. All you need, race car parts, safety equipment service, 734-856-7223. And race season coming up. How's things in the shop up there, Ron?
Shop is busy, and actually, you were talking about safety equipment, Scott. A lot of calls recently about safety equipment. So as we're getting closer to opening day, the guys are starting to think about that. And I don't want them to wait too long, because all the shops are selling safety equipment, and we could wind up in short supply here in another month. So if you need something, Hans devices, head and neck restraints, suits, gloves, shoes, whatever you need, now's a good time.
Right,
and
I
the
need some
tax money's coming back.
Yeah. I already got mine. I'm excited about that.
Ooh.
Especially being unemployed for a few months. Very nice to have that. And I need some belts. I need to get some new belts. My belts are a little out of date, I believe, as well as some other things. We'll talk.
We can fix you right up, Mr. Hammer.
All right, Ryan Miller Race Cars. That's the place to do it. Jerry, we got some racing action from the last weekend.
Absolutely. This week's Racing Roundup brought to you again by Tim Sims. We're here at the home of Tim Sims at the Hillbilly High Banks. The Dryden Extreme Dirt Car Series in action. Brandon Overton worked the high groove to make a late race pass for the win at Modoc Speedway in South Carolina on Saturday night. Was his second Dryden Extreme Dirt Car Series win of the season. Chris Madden earned the series point championship. In NASCAR action, Myatt Snyder won his first Xfinity Series race Saturday night in the Contender Boats 250 at Homestead Miami Speedway after surviving a couple of overtime restarts. Tyler Reddick finished second, but failed post-race inspection, was DQ'd, giving second to Brandon Jones. William Byron picked up his first win of the season, his second career Cup win in Sunday's Dixie Vodka 400 Cup race at Miami. He led 100 of the final 108 laps. Next up for NASCAR, the Truck Series will be in action with the Silver State 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Friday at 9 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. The Xfinity Series will be in action at the Alsco Uniforms 300 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And the Cup Series is back in action on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on Fox with the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas. And that'll do it with our brief racing roundup. But I do want to remind our winner last week from the How Many still has a T-shirt coming. I need an address so we can get that to him, courtesy of Tim Sims and Wicked Cushion. Scott, I need your address too. I got one for you.
All right, I'll give it to you right now. How's that?
Tell the world.
We'll do that later. Maybe we'll get some extra bonus of the show after the close, like last week. We couldn't end the broadcast. It was weird.
Should I hold up a sign with your personal phone number too and your account number?
Yeah, sure. You got my account number? Wow. By the way,
web's amazing.
Before, yes, Hammer Down After Dark, different thing.
Different show.
Yeah. Last week, Ron was feeling under the weather. We forgot to mention that. And looking good, everything's good. No COVID last week. Just had a cold or something. No. You lost your voice.
Just a cold.
All good? So all good now, right?
I'm great.
Okay. All right. Well, let's bring in our guest this week, Andy King. The what is your title with Dirt Track Truck Series, Andy?
I guess you'd tell me the owner promoter.
Owner promoter. Okay. Owner promoter of the Dirt Track Truck Series. Tell us give us a little brief history of the Dirt Track Truck Series, what it is, and where things are going.
Well, I know years ago it started at Waynesfield, and there they were just called the Tough Trucks. They were the 4-cylinder class, S10s and Ford Rangers, mini trucks. That's how Jerry got his start. When things started slowing down there, and then the track phased out, the class I kind of had nowhere to go, and I had a few trucks, and I kind of helped just get them at like Montpelier and some other tracks, and it just kind of took off from there. I turned it into this own little series. I started getting more tracks involved, and turned it into a traveling points series.
Now, was that last year that you started that?
Yeah, that's last year we tried to make it, an actual points thing. Before we were just going to random tracks and getting a few races here and there. And then, last year we tried to start and do the points thing, but then with the coronavirus thing shutting a lot of places down, we didn't get to do it the way we wanted to do it last year. But this year is, really taking off, and with things opening up, so it's going to be a better year for the trucks for sure.
So maybe last year you could just use as it was a soft opening. This is the year that's the real debut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and Jerry probably would know as well, but I mean, what kind of truck counts, I guess, were you getting at Waynesfield for that class back before they got rid of it?
Yeah, Jerry probably knows. I know they used to get a good 20 to 30 a night, and then sometimes things phase out in certain classes, and I know towards the end there, they never had to have a B main. It was, 15 to 18 a night. So
yep. That last season, like I think the max car count, I think they had 21 one night, but the rest of the weeks was 15 to 18. Still made for a good show because you still get a full field, and it helps the night to move on when you don't have that extra B main to run too.
Well, and
Andy, when they were running at Waynesfield, did you race yourself, or where did your interest in these trucks come from?
I ran for about 10 years in stock cars at Lima and Eldora, and then I always knew about the trucks, and then I had a couple buddies here and locally or close to me, about 10 miles away. They contacted me one time to help them out with their truck, and then that got my feet wet into it more. So, and then from there I just kind of fell in love with them. So started following that series more. Yeah, I did. But then for me actually racing at Waynesfield, I think I only ran there about maybe 6 times total. And then that's when the track had, I guess, closed up or took different ownership or promoter. So now, Helms, they're running their show there now. So it's a little different schedule. So
have you actually talked to Helms at all about possibly doing a truck race there?
Yeah, I've talked to them, last year when I first started the thing, and then, they were starting off with like a 5 or 6 season schedule. And then I was trying to get on one of them, one of those nights. And then I know they picked modifieds as one of the support classes because I know he's a big sprint car guy. So I know that's where a lot of his schedule is surrounded by. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still working with him. I don't think anything's going to happen there this year with trucks, but you never know, I guess.
Now again, the roots of this series is from the Waynesfield trucks, 4-cylinder trucks. Did there any other tracks that the 4-cylinder trucks could race at or did race at?
For a few years, I'd say maybe 6 or 8 years, Lima Land would always pick them up for 2 nights a year. But then there's over at Hilltop, over in Millersburg, Ohio, they run a mini truck class, but they're V6 and 4-cylinder combined. So I know once a year, those guys would come race Waynesfield, and then the Waynesfield guys would go race with them guys once a year, kind of an invitational thing.
Now, would this series, the Dirt Track Truck Series, would you allow any V6s, or is it strictly?
Yeah, we're this year, because they're in the kind of the same boat we were with low truck counts over at Hilltop, and so I got to race with a lot of those guys last year, and like I said, they're kind of hurting the same way we were, so we combined both the series and made it one whole points thing. That's what the Dirt Track Truck Series has become, just a full mini truck class for a 4-cylinder and V6. Now,
I know Jerry's he's had high praise for this class. Of course, he's participated in it, rolled over. He's seen it from all ends, upside down, sideways, whatever.
Yeah.
What is it about the 4-cylinder trucks that makes them so exciting, and how are they different from say like the compacts, the front wheel drive cars that are 4-cylinder?
Pretty much just that right there, just being the front wheel drives. I've never drove a front wheel drive as sort of race car wise, so I don't know a lot about them.
It's weird,
and right, I'm sure it is, especially
it's weird coming from
time. Yeah, especially from my stock car background. So, but that's what I like about the trucks. You gotta get that same feel, getting sideways through the corners, and the same geometries involved, front end, suspension, and rear. It's just obviously a little less horsepower, so that kind of keeps the cost down. And it seems like you can still go to about any junkyard, or somebody's grandpa still has an old S10 or Ford Ranger out behind their barn, so it's still easy to get parts and things like that.
Have any of the drivers, do you know of, have they tried to compete with the Fremont trucks?
I actually went there 2 years ago, just like kind of a shakedown on one of my trucks, and then I know a couple other guys had showed up there once or twice. We ran the first couple times Montpelier had let us run. We had to run with their Thunder Car class, and we did fairly well against them. I know Chris Pix was there one night and won a heat race against them, and I think my best finish against the Thunder Cars was like 5th or 6th. So they're pretty racy still.
So just because they're lacking a little bit of horsepower, you guys, you can still hang with some of those 8-cylinder trucks.
Surprisingly,
I think
these
just
four-cylinder engines do get wound up pretty good, don't they, Andy?
Yeah, they definitely, you got to keep the speed in them. You got to keep the RPMs up. And then I just think being lighter, there's not as much nose weight to a V8 car or truck. So I actually won a race last year at Goods against the V6 guys. And I think it just came down to handling. I just handled better than those guys did in the corners. So maybe that has a little something to do with it.
Let's talk a little bit more of the technical side of things. I mean, what are the rules to be in the dirt track truck series?
Really, our rules is just a copy of the old Waynesfield ones, and then they're on our Facebook page with the new title, the new title on it.
What's the tire rule? I mean,
we're running Hoosiers or American Racer. You can run a racing tire, and it's on an 8-inch wheel.
Okay.
So that helps keep costs down, just because obviously a lot of guys get tires either free or fairly cheap from the mod guys or stock car guys, and it's a nicer tire to race on.
And what about the motors? Are those stock or are those souped up?
Well, any race vehicle is going to have some work done to them.
Okay.
So,
I don't know what the rules are. So
that's we're allowed to run headers. Like the old Waynesfield rules was they're still, both classes are on 2-barrel, the V6 and 4-cylinder. They're on a 2-barrel carburetor. It was at Waynesfield you could only run up to a 350 CFM, but I'm opening that up this year because we're allowed to run with the V6 guys, so we can run a 500 carburetor. We got headers on them, which are custom made, because some of these trucks you can't buy one that fits it, so you just get a flange and make your own. But yeah, it's just do some head work, find a good machine shop that can do some good head work and maybe put a little bit of raise some compression in them so they get some horsepower to them.
Okay. You said the rules are on your Facebook page?
Yeah, the Dirt Track Truck Series Facebook page. Yep. Okay.
So if you just search for Dirt Track Truck Series, we should be able to find it, right?
Yeah, or if anybody needs, they can message us or me there, and then I can actually forward the link. That way, somebody, if they want to print it, or it's in a PDF file or something like that way.
Okay. So what's your schedule looking like for this year? Do you have it all together? Can you announce any dates? Yeah. What tracks are you going to be at, and what dates? What are we looking at?
We have 13 shows right now scheduled at 6 different tracks throughout Ohio.
What tracks you got?
Let's see. You want me to start? You just want me to run down my list here?
Go for it. Yeah. Let's. We want to know where you're
yeah. First one, we're doing a lot of double header weekends, and I'll explain that why is because, like I said, with a lot of the guys coming from Hilltop, that gives them a chance if they come over like on a Friday night and race, and then they can just stay the night and then race again on Saturday. I did that quite a bit last summer. I would travel it was 3 hours over there, and then I'd stay Friday night, and we could wake up, and the next morning we'd go to Hilltop or Goods or Wayne County or whoever was running us that next night. So so for our schedule, the first one's May 21st. It's a Friday at Hilltop. The next night is May 22nd, a Saturday at Goods. That's in Deerfield, Ohio. Next one is June 11th at Hilltop, a Friday night. Then June 12th, that's at Goods. Those are 2 doubleheader weekends. July 30th is at Friday at Hilltop. July 31st is the Saturday at Goods again. Then the schedule changes up a little. Then August 7th is a Saturday night. That's where we go to Muskegon. They added us on for 2 shows. Then we don't race again until September 24th. That's a Friday. That's where we go to Wayne County that night. Okay. Then the next night, September 25th, Saturday. Then we're back to Goods. And then, then we go to October. October 2nd, that'll be our last race of the season. That's on a Saturday night. That is at Muskegon. Okay. We have one other race we're going to. It's a TRS event. These guys are a asphalt truck series out of Ohio. They run asphalt, but they have one dirt race a year, and that's in Beckley, West Virginia. A bunch of us went to that the past couple of years.
I go whitewater rafting down there.
Yeah, it's about a 6-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
But last year we went, and it was like $1,000 to win, and I got second in that event with my 4-cylinders. Some of them trucks were V6 and V8 guys.
Wow.
We're doing that again this year. That's July 10th in Beckley, but that's not a points race for our series. I mean, I'm not gonna make that where everybody's got to drive 6 hours away to stay in the points. But the neat thing about that race this year is it's $2,000 to win and $400 to start.
Wow!
So that's quite a big show. Yeah.
Now,
Andy,
yeah,
you were
that's our
talking
schedule so far.
go ahead, Ron.
You were talking about dollars, Andy. Your regular weekly shows. What are the racers looking at, and what kind of points fund are you looking at?
I have a points fund list, and that's it's $400 to win for the series, and then we pay out down to the top 10. So then a quick breakdown's like 400, 250, 200, 175, 150 down to 5th, and then from there down. But as far as the weekly pay for track, that's still up to the track because that's not going to be on us, the series wise. So, but a lot of the tracks are in that like $200 range weekly to win. I know Lima, when they was running, they was doing like 300, something like that. So.
All right.
So it's negotiable then with each
Yeah. I still, when I was talking to these tracks, I obviously everything's it's still their track, so I'm letting them still be in charge of things of like safety, checking seatbelts and stuff like that, and they're running the show. It's up to them if we run an 8-lap heat race or a 10-lap or a 20-lap feature, however they want to run their show, treat us like one of their other classes. It's just really at the end of the night, I'm just kind of the guy adding up the points for our series.
The procedures could be different from track to track.
Yeah,
as well,
right. We might go somewhere and run an 8-lap heat race, and then the next week we might be running a 10-lap or something like that. Or
I'll keep things interesting.
Yeah,
keep your guys on their toes.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be neat is going to different tracks that we've never been to and maybe seeing how their program is ran. That's always fun for, I don't know, fans and drivers.
Now, is this schedule set in stone, or are there still talks going with maybe some other tracks?
And I've got 2 more races to tell you, and I've been sworn to secrecy to wait till tonight to tell you.
Oh boy, is this breaking news?
Yeah, this is breaking news. I don't know if you got a drum roll or something button there.
We got some breaking news music here. Breaking news.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. We got to get the breaking news banner here.
Yeah.
All right, we have Andy King with some breaking news here in the Hammer Down Racing Report. Lay it on us.
All right. Lima is going to let us run June 5th. That's a Friday night. And then...
It's the Keyser Memorial. Oh, my God.
Well, there you go.
What? You didn't know this, Jerry? Are you playing dumb?
I'm sorry. That was June
playing
4th, a Friday. Yeah, that's June 4th is on a Friday there at Lima. And then June 5th, Saturday, Chrissy's giving us the okay to run Oakshade.
Wow.
So there you go. We're gonna make our mini truck debut at Oakshade there in Wasion.
Wow,
well, let's go ahead. I got more breaking news.
More breaking news.
At that one?
Oh, wait, what was that, Ron?
I was just wondering if we were going to see the Keyser Mobile at any of those shows.
I think so.
That's the breaking news.
What? Oh.
The RK1 will come out of weeds, and I will come out of retirement Friday, June 4th, and Saturday, June 5th to run that weekend with the DTTS.
Yep.
Wait, did you know about this, Jerry?
I knew about the Friday. Did not know about this. I knew we were trying to get the Saturday, and you and I talked a little bit about it. So,
well, all right. So that's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
June 4th, June 5th.
Since we got all that magic
Saturday.
going on, there's a TBA date on Millstream's schedule for Sunday, August 8th. That would be really nice if Scott Warner is listening to have the trucks at Millstream.
Yeah, that'd be a neat place to go. I've ran there before in my stock car. Yeah.
It needs a support class that week. That would be perfect.
I actually talked to Chrissy last night to see if we had an update on the schedule for Oakshade. And as of she didn't tell me anything, so I knew nothing about this.
Yeah, she called me later after she talked to you. So it was like, this all just happened at 10 o'clock last night.
Okay.
She said you were going to be upset that I, or
That's
not
all right.
upset, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She said, yeah, I just talked to Scott and I already told him there's no new information. She turned around and told me.
That's exactly what she told me too. Yeah. So no, cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It doesn't matter if I have that, as long as it's breaking on this show. That's all that matters. So
Yeah.
that'll be cool. Looking forward to.
But yeah, thank you to you guys. I know you and Jerry and Ron, you guys helped with that, keeping throwing in a good word for us. And there's been some talk from other drivers that have contacted her, and I know Greg Detray's excited for it. I told him I'd put him in the seat of one if he helps get the series up there.
Oh no, so. I got to compete against Greg.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him in the comments somewhere here talking about something.
Somebody was asking about running a Fremont truck. So
that's what it was. Yeah. So no, that'll be very cool. That's so Lima Land Friday night and Oakshade on Saturday.
Yep. So a double header weekend. That's it.
We might have to find more help.
If anybody else is looking for a driver on that Oakshade night, I'll probably have all my safety gear there.
I definitely have enough trucks to put in probably all three of you guys in one if you need one.
We're gonna have to find more announcers Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll be driving.
We'll let Pam do it.
Pam, she's done it before. She doesn't mess around.
And there they go.
Oh, she's a little better than that. Come on now. So what kind of truck count or commitment do you have from guys that are planning to run the full season this year?
I think as far as about every race, a good 15 to 18. I know we had some guys that picked up. Phil Hicks had ran for me a few times in the past couple of years, and now he bought 2 of his own trucks this year. So that'll be 2 added trucks. I personally bought 2 more trucks over the winter that I've been working on to bring, life back into them. I find a lot of these trucks just, rotting away, sitting out in fields and stuff that people raced years ago. And
you know what? Ron has he's been pretty busy building trucks. He's been doing the 8-cylinder kind, but I'm sure he could probably do some 4-cylinder trucks too.
Yeah, because I'd seen where it was. I think Fremont opened the rules on body packages and stuff, so I've seen a lot of guys with new bodies and putting the aftermarket noses and stuff. I still follow those guys, the Fremont guys, even though I don't run with them.
Okay.
They opened up a Colorado chassis, and that's brought some business to us.
Yeah.
So do you think, that's your core there, the 15 to 18. I'm guessing there's probably going to be some stragglers, filling in at different tracks here.
Yeah, some guys, especially with myself, I have 6 trucks myself, so I'm going to have random drivers in here and there. And then a lot of guys obviously maybe won't be able to make a Friday show here or there just because of work or something like that. So.
Okay. Is there
putting the 2 classes or the 2 series together, the 4-cylinder V6? That'll help the car count on both sides of the state.
Yeah, I think so. There. Is there any drivers that are early season favorites? Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 drivers, the ones to watch.
Well, obviously Jerry will attest to this. Anytime you put a Chris Hicks in a race, that's the guy you got to beat. He's got over 50 wins in the trucks at Waynesfield, and we ran Gas City a few times in the past couple of years. He won a bunch there. I know in the V6 guys, there's a guy, the Raleigh and Blake Hader. That's a father-son team over there. They're pretty tough. So.
Where are most of these? Where are most of these guys' hometowns?
I know, quite a bit from the Lima area because when the truck series was based out of Waynesfield, a lot of guys are, Walpock, Lima area.
Okay.
Seems like now I'm over here in Van Wert now, so there's 3 of us drivers over here, and then those Hilltop guys. I know a few of them are kind of north of Columbus, Mansfield area. Has a lot of guys that way.
So they're kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Mid-Ohio kind of area.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
cool.
Especially the north, but pretty much everybody's north of Columbus from.
So
here to
long-term plans for the series. What do you see? Where do you see this series going? 2-3 years down the road. Is this going to be a consistent schedule for you? You're going to add races?
I like the idea of just maybe being around 12 to 14 shows, maybe 16 max. This is kind of a lower budget class, and with being the traveling, it'd be hard to race every weekend. You know what I mean? So I don't want to constantly always be on the road. I still I still want to go to certain events. Maybe go to the King's Royal or something like that. So as long as we race once or twice a month. So that way you're not so committed during this. A lot of people during the summer, they got other things going on, kids events or going camping or something like that. So.
Okay. So if a track were to come to you maybe at the end of this year or maybe sometime during this year and say, hey, we'd like to have these guys every week as part of our weekly show at the track, maybe starting next year, is that something that you would consider, assuming it's a track within the area here, your area, or do you want to keep this spread out to different tracks?
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Really, the reason why this series started as a traveling thing was because, like when Waynesfield had shut down and the trucks had nowhere to go, I started scheduling things. I got things with Gas City and Montpelier. And then what kind of hurt the class was, guys, we didn't get the truck count that we really needed. Some nights we only had like maybe 8 or 9 show up, and guys would come to once or twice, and then they just said, we don't want to race there every weekend because we're not racing for points. So that's why I made the series of points. The handful of races we had, I was going to try to make them all points races. So I don't know. It'd be interesting if a track wanted to run us full time, because then maybe the track would be, they would have their own points schedule. You know what I mean? Like any other class.
Maybe there's a track that has been dormant for a while and is just going to be starting racing, and it real soon, and maybe looking for a class that might be dedicated. I'm just spitballing. I don't know.
Oh yeah, all those ideas have ran through my head before too. Yeah, and then like right now with Hilltop still is going to run the trucks weekly or bi-weekly. Okay. But, so they might run 12 times a year, but I'm only making 3 of those nights points races for the series. So maybe something like that would work. If a track does want to run them full time, then, I don't know how I'd run a series with if somebody's running full time, and if I tried to schedule another night somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, we got starting to get trucks spread out all over the place, and I think that if we got a local track around here that ran them weekly, you'd have a good weekly base, and you'd still have guys that would want to take off and go run with you, especially those bigger shows, like the Big Beckley show, or some of the time down a Hilltop. So I think it's a great idea.
If we had a track that wanted to run, and then obviously if they just worked more with our schedule, that's what I told the guy Buck Smetley there at Hilltop. Like I told him, if he's going to still run Fridays, like I told him to take June 4th off, because that's going to be our Lima race. That way those guys have a reason and an incentive to come over to our side of the state and race. So as long as they worked with the schedule with the series, I could see it would work out just fine.
Well, we'll have to work on an individual named Scott, not me.
Yeah, well, especially since that track runs Sundays. So I mean, even if
is that the track we're talking about? Yeah, you're right.
I think.
Before we let you go, what sponsors you got that are helping put this together for you?
Yeah, for the series sponsors, I know a lot of people know this name, Troy Breidenball. If you ever been around Lima or anywhere, he's the car owner for Tony Anderson's team. He owns Mid-American Cleaning Contractors, and he came on pretty big for us. And then also Phil Hicks, who was a long time, I've known him for 20 years, but he was also a long time sponsor of my stock car. And then we got him in this truck deal, and I had him turn some laps here and there. And so now he's become a series sponsor. He's Phil Hicks of Hicks Lawn Services there at Lima. They do obviously lawn care during the summer, and then your snow plowing and stuff like that in the wintertime.
Okay. And if people want to get a hold of you, any tracks, any drivers, again, the best way to do that is your Facebook page.
Right, either my personal page or through the Dirt Track Truck Series page. Yeah,
That's the one I meant, and we'll bring that up here on the screen again here. It's got that pretty cool. Who made the logo there?
Kurt Wilson, Wide Open Graphics. He's been my guy for years and he's pretty good at that kind of stuff.
All right, so if you just search Dirt Track Truck Series, it'll come up as the first result there. So
yeah, and I'm going to update more information this week, obviously after this show. But we've already got all the events already listed on there, and then I'll refresh the page with the rules and stuff that way, because I know some of the people will want to be looking at that.
Cool. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Excited to get that breaking news about the Lima Land and the Oakshade weekend there coming up June 4th and 5th. So.
Cool. All right. I know they're Lima too. They had to look at their schedule because of some scheduling conflicts. They always ran us twice a year down there, so she is still trying to work us in on another Friday there, but she's just not. It's not a guarantee. But she did say that I could give out that June 4th night, and then obviously because that ties in with the June 5th at Oakshade.
Well, you got the people talking here. So Lima Land has a schedule.
Yeah, right. And that's why I had to get permission from Stephanie, because I knew as soon as I said something, she would next day she's going to get 100 phone calls asking what the schedule is now. So
just to be official, we do not have the full schedule for Oakshade Raceway or Lima Land yet. That has not been released, but we can say that June 4th, June 5th, the Dirt Track Truck Series will be at.
I was given special permission to give.
That's always good. Yeah, you definitely don't want to upset those guys.
No.
So, Andy King, we appreciate the time and looking forward to seeing you here this summer.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited this year, having 12 races already done from just an idea in my head that turned into this. And like you said, there's bigger picture maybe down the road. Something turns in and just keeps getting bigger every year. Maybe a track full-time thing or.
Well, it'll be interesting. It'll be my first time seeing the dirt track trucks. I know Jerry's a veteran there, but this will be my first. I'll be like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what's been nice about going to different tracks is I think everybody's kind of heard of them, but then with so many tracks, like Oakshade, obviously you guys always ran on Saturdays, so you never got the chance to go to Waynesfield and see other classes. Everywhere we go, everybody seems to love us. So,
all right, just make sure that you give me a nice list of all the drivers and their numbers and how to say everybody's names.
Yeah,
because it might be Gary Kaiser and Andy Kine. I don't know how to mess that up.
That's what I told Christy last night. That's why I'm going to put a couple guys like Greg and then some of your local guys, just so the fans, obviously when you bring a class in where nobody knows who they are.
Well, why don't you bring why don't you put some slower local guys in? Don't go for the
multiple time track champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll see what Ruhlman or Schlink's doing that night.
Geez.
Maybe see what them guys.
Well, make sure you put a slit in there or a slow hole in their tire, a slow leak, something to slow them down.
If he wants to come out of retirement too, why don't you?
Yeah.
So, all right, Andy. We appreciate the time again, and keep in touch.
Yeah, I will. Thank you guys for allowing me to speak about it and helping. Like I said, you guys had a little input on making the Oakshade deal happen, so that's going to be fun for everybody. A new place to go.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Thanks, Andy.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
yep,
bye,
Thank you,
Andy King there from the Dirt Track Truck Series. And wow, I didn't know any of that. I learned something from my show sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's very
exciting. They're keeping secrets from you. I love that.
Yeah, they all were. I knew nothing about it. Did you know about the Keyser thing?
I knew about the Keyser Memorial.
All right. I know you had said something about that, but you didn't really.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah,
I got you.
Andy, I was sworn to secrecy just because obviously everything going on has made things so difficult as far as making plans for the summer, and it's seems to be starting to open up. I'm getting excited. I'm ready for a real race season.
Before we go through the racing news we got here, and don't forget we have how many coming up in a little bit. Was there any update as far as when you expect maybe to see a Lima Land schedule? Do you have any insight in that, Jerry? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Nope, not yet. I know that, with COVID and everything, that they have to be so careful because of the school being involved in that. And they're excited. They want to get back to racing. We want to race. It's just with state mandates now at 30%, I think we're getting really close. I think if it opens up a little bit more, I think it's, we're green to go. So
well, that's a good transition then into the racing news. Speaking of the 30% that has been announced for the capacity for outdoor venues, I guess we're calling it here in the state of Ohio. We got an update from Toledo and Flat Rock Speedways. The 30% capacity limit is going to be good for Toledo Speedway. They're good to go as scheduled. They're going to start their season as they have scheduled. Flat Rock announced just the other day that they're going to be good to go as well, which is good news because they didn't run any races last year up there in Flat Rock, Michigan. So they're limited to 1,000 capacity there, not 1,000%, 1,000 total will be permitted, and I guess that's good enough for them to get things going as well. They're going to have some more details on that in the near future. So things are turning around in the right direction, I hope. Some sad news. Bernice Baltas passed away. We'll say passed away on February 24th at the age of 93. Of course, her husband, Earl, built Eldora back in 1959. She was married to him for 67 years. Earl died back in 2015, also at the age of 93. The two met back when Bernice was 17 years old, and they got married back in 1947. What were you doing back in 1947, Ron?
I was being born.
Hey, so were my parents. Okay. You're not that old. Jeez. The Baltas family owned and operated the track for 51 years before selling it to Tony Stewart following the 2004 season. Saturated ground and more rain projected throughout the week has forced the cancellation of the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Model Series action that was scheduled for tomorrow at Duck River Raceway Park. As of press time, Saturday's $12,000 to win event at Smoky Mountain Speedway on Saturday is still on. So, just an update there for you. SRX, the Superstar Racing Experience, they haven't revealed the car yet with sheet metal on it, but there was a cryptic tweet that indicated they were going to be doing a test session with the car this weekend, and that was it. I don't know where, when, or anything, but I guess we may be seeing what the Superstar Racing Experience vehicle, the new IROC, let's just call it the new IROC, is going to look like. So I'm looking forward to that. Swear word alert coming up here, just FYI. If you got kids, Jerry, you got your kids there, you may want to do earmuffs. You got a swear word coming up. There was a little bit of issues in the Xfinity race on Saturday. Noah Gragson had a 9-second lead with 3 laps to go, and David Starr was running 12th, dropped down to the inside to let the leader lap him, and I guess what happened, he had a right front tire blowout. Starr shot up the banking right in front of Gragson, who was running the high line, and basically took him out. And this is what Noah had to say after he came out of the medical center. And again, kids, earmuffs. This was on live TV, by the way. So this is what happened.
Well, he was just checked and released, but 34 laps. No, I don't even know where to start with that. How do you comprehend what just happened when you were leading this race?
What are you gonna do? You got dipshits in the way every single week, but.
So yeah. He was not happy, and I guess Carl Long, the car owner of David Starr, chimed in on social media and said, in response to Gragson there, quote, "Well, this over-entitled mouthpiece did not have enough talent to miss our wreck. We were happy to take home a top 12 finish. That rolled right out of our hands, just like the tire rubber rolled off of this tire." And he had a picture of the tire that went down. So I don't. Did you see the incident, Ron?
I didn't see it. I watched a replay, and certainly the internet was full of comments I felt bad for David Starr. You know, he's a good racer, got a lot of talent. He certainly had nothing to do with what happened, and
I agree. He did nothing wrong. I mean, he tried to get out of the way. Tire went down. You know, what's his face said happens without the dip part. You know, and unfortunately, it happened to Gragson. And yeah, I mean, you have the same opinion on that, Jerry?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is what it is, and some of it comes back to these younger kids, the younger generation. Just some of them don't have the wherewithal to patience. Yeah. There's a lot of words I got there. I'm just gonna let it go. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully it'll die down. Noah Gragson is a talented driver as well. Hopefully he learns a lesson here. You know, hopefully his car owner and sponsors will have a little talk with him, and maybe he'll come out with an apology here real soon.
No, but I do appreciate him swearing on live TV. I appreciate that.
Well, anyone with children does.
He had a 9-second lead. There's no reason to run every lap flat out.
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, but I don't know that there was much he could have done to avoid it anyways.
So, 9-second lead, 12 laps to go. I don't know.
Yeah. Moving on, Attica announced increased weekly purses for the late models and 305s this season. I was trying to figure out what I wrote. I wrote Monday.
Yeah.
I had money with a D in it, and I'm like, money. That was supposed to be money. Money has been added in the middle and to the start of the payouts for the late models and the 305s. Late models will now pay $1,200 to win and $200 to start, with a few higher paying shows sprinkled in. I believe there's some few $2,000 to wins and one $3,000 to win. The 305s, their weekly payout will be $750 to win and $200 to start. And they'll also have some higher paying to win shows as well. So pretty cool there. Good news for the racers at Attica. Bad news for fans. Admission prices are going to increase a little bit for them as well. $18 for adults, $15 for seniors, and I believe $10 for teens may have been what it was before. 10 and under free. Pit passes will be the same at $30. So that's some good news. But it costs money to race. It costs money to hold the races. So I mean, that's the unfortunate thing, but it is the reality. But pretty cool deal there. Brad Keselowski has added his name of NASCAR drivers that are going to be doing some extra racing on the dirt at Bristol. We talked about Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. I guess Logano is going to be doing modified. The other three, I guess.
He looked decent in the modified down in Florida. You know, that could be fun to watch. See him at Bristol.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool. And a couple other drivers. Austin Dillon's going to run a crate late model, as well as Corey LaJoie. So no details were announced initially on what Keselowski was going to run, but I believe I saw he's going to be running a late model, or that's a speculation.
I believe LaJoie running that crate late. I'm actually excited for Corey LaJoie. He's another very talented driver who hasn't been able to get the best.
He's the guy
equipment.
that had his face on the hood of his car.
Yes.
At Daytona.
Yes.
Last year, the year before, I don't remember.
Yep.
I don't know why I remember. I always thought that was the weirdest thing.
He's fun. I think he's.
Didn't Bud's brother have a late model for a few years and show up at Oakshade?
Who's that?
Brad Keselowski's brother, Brian. I think he didn't he model.
That sounds real familiar.
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember. You think I would? I was probably there. It's crazy.
I think Cameron can probably help us with that.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Get on that, Dave. NASCAR announced yesterday that some more procedural rules for the dirt races at Bristol for the trucks and the Cup Series. We mentioned before, they're going to be doing the 15-lap heat races. Only green flag laps will be counting, and they're going to also be doing passing points. I'm not exactly sure the formula for all that, but that's how they're going to line up the races based on the passing points and the finishes. So, yes, way to make it more complicated there, NASCAR. But I don't know. Also, tire changes, vehicle work, and fueling can only be conducted during stage breaks. Exceptions will be made for vehicles involved in incidents during the event. Pit stops will be held under a controlled pit format with drivers not losing positions based on how they come off the pit road. Instead, they'll be lining up, drivers not losing position based on how they come off pit road and instead lining up in the order that they finished the preceding stage. So, drivers electing not to pit will end up lining up ahead of those that do pit. So, a little bit, I'm sure it'll be interesting. I wonder if the drivers are going to have to study all these rules, too, so they don't make any mistakes pitting when they shouldn't, or, it'll be a little bit of a chess
sounds like
match,
me just a matter of eliminating racing onto and off of pit road for safety reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand that.
Is pit road covered with dirt? Either you know?
I thought they had. I believe they do have dirt down on it.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I
About
saw
that.
the entrance to the road definitely was dirt. I didn't see anything more than that. My son Steve, pretty observant, noticed that the racing lane kind of merges towards the pit road, the open end of the wall on pit road, and that gave him some concern. And I paid some attention to it. A little worrisome there. If somebody gets down on the flat, they could get collected into the pit wall.
Yeah. Catch the end of the pit wall. I did notice that watching that Scott Bloomquist doing some hot laps out there earlier.
No dirt on pit road.
No dirt on pit road? Okay. I was wondering how they would, if they put down some chalk lines to designate the pit stalls or what. But I guess they don't have to do that. Not a concern. Shane Golobic, I believe that's how we pronounce his name. He's a sprint car racer from California. There's a lot of news around this Bristol dirt thing. This is the greatest thing they could have done. They're getting so much publicity, a lot of attention going to them. Shane Golobic, a sprint car racer from California, is going to make his NASCAR Cup debut in the March 28th race on the dirt at Bristol. So that's kind of like a dream come true kind of thing. He has wins in World of Outlaws and MUSAC. He's made a trio of ARCA West starts as well with Bill McAnally, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, just had Amber Balkan on a couple weeks ago. Going to be racing for him.
I just got a signed hero card from Amber.
Did you?
Yeah, I ordered one off of her website.
Oh, all right.
I cheated, but I just wanted to have that. I thought it was pretty cool. And they only charge $1 for them plus shipping, so I'll add that to my photo book of over the years, and that'd be pretty neat keepsake, I think.
Nice. Bill Lester is. You guys know who Bill Lester is? I'm sure Ron does. Ron knows who everybody is.
Racer.
He's 60 years. He's young, Ron. Right? He's a youngster. He's 60 years young, and he's announced his return to, or his intent to return to the NASCAR Truck Series. He ran the Truck Series, I believe, in the 2000s. And he's working on. He's got sponsors for Atlanta. I guess that's where he's intending to come back. And I read something that he tweeted out that he needs a sponsor for the hood, and Marcus Lemonis, the Camping World guy, and we got news about him. He did something pretty crazy. Said I'm in. So I don't know if that's an official thing that is going to be for Bill Lester there coming up or not. So interesting to keep an eye out for him. Speaking
Maybe
of
we ought to put a run for Cup Series or Truck Series Rookie of the Year next year.
Yeah.
Camping World on that.
Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis asked Monday night on Twitter if any teams running the race were interested in taking his sponsorship offer for. I don't even know what I was typing there. Basically, Marcus Lemonis put out Monday night an offer to any of the truck teams of Camping World sponsorship for this weekend's race at Las Vegas. And I guess there was 7 truck teams that are either unsponsored or have them themselves self-sponsored. So a lot of people were chiming in. He offered $15,000 for anybody that put Camping World on their truck for this weekend, and it sounds like there was quite a few takers, as a matter of fact. And so there's going to be a lot of Camping World trucks in tomorrow night's Camping World Truck Series race at Las Vegas. I mean, it's kind of a cool publicity stunt there.
Yeah.
And on top of the $15,000, that's just for putting Camping World on it. If you finish. He pays more the higher you finish. If you happen to win, you're going to get $50,000.
Oh, wow.
Let me get my truck loaded up, head to Vegas.
There you go.
I'm on my way.
You'll have to see if he'll sponsor your truck for the Lima Land Oakshade weekend in the Dirt Truck Series.
There we go.
So a pretty cool deal there. Something interesting. I wonder if he'll do that again, or if maybe we'll see somebody else do that. But that's about all the news that I have for this week. Wanted to mention on Twitter, I started a thing. Decided, why not do a weekly Twitter poll, right? So if you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you do that. It's at hammerreport.com, just at hammerreport on Twitter. This week's poll that I put out there was, how often do you get out to a racetrack during the summer months? And the options were every weekend, a couple times a month, or a couple times a month because I can't type right, or only for special events once or twice a year. Those were the 4 options, and you'll never guess which one from our audience got the most, 76.5%.
Once or twice a month.
No, every weekend. 76%.
Really?
We'll round up. 77% said every weekend. 17.6% a couple times a month. A couple times a month. It's New English. And 5.9% only for special events. 0% once or twice a year.
Wow.
I think our audience may be a little biased there. What's that, Ron?
No, I just thought that was pretty encouraging.
Okay. Well, here's some discouraging news. The Best of Toledo results came out, and we didn't get. We appreciate everybody for supporting us, helping us out. It was kind of a long shot. We are a pretty niche podcast compared to the 2 that finished first and runner up. I'm thinking we got a podium finish. We were probably third. They only announced the first and second place, but I'm going with we got the podium. We're third.
We're not last. We're not last.
Well, we might have been, but we're going to say we're third. We're taking that. We're taking our third place finish.
Wasn't it that won it?
What's that? It was 419 Grind, I believe, was the podcast that won it.
Okay.
I haven't listened to that. Andrew Z was second. He was the runner-up. And I haven't listened to his either for multiple reasons, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on, how about
a big area.
Yeah, he does. He was in radio for years, morning radio, so he does have a big following there. We're still building ours. We're building ours differently. Organically. You mean the organic stuff. And this is the other thing. Those are more, this is something else I was thinking, because my job where I work, we're trying to target very specific people on our website. We're a business to business. So we're targeting specific people. We don't want we don't want a huge number of people. We want quality people. And I equate that to the show. We may not have the hugest audience, but the people we have are the ones we want. They're high quality, and it's better that way. We're not a mass appeal.
Upper crust.
We're focused on quality, a quality audience. Yes. And now that we've buttered you up, it's time to play How Many? Chance to win a Big D's pizza. Last week's How Many? First, we'll take our last week. It was how many guesses will we have how many guesses will we have by Sunday at 7 o'clock, this past Sunday? How many guesses for the How Many? You follow me? Everybody is with me now? So the actual number was actually pretty low. I was kind of impressed. 11. There was only 11. 11 people guessed how many guesses we would have. So my guess of 34 was the lowest of our on-show people. So thank you. I win
I'm
nothing.
disappointed.
Are you? Well, Rhonda Heitzman, she guessed 7.
I'm
She
proud of
actually
her.
went low. Yeah, so she was closest. She wins Big D's Pizza. Just needs to get with Dean Henry there, and if not, or get with us, and we'll hook her up. I think that I don't. Oh no, he's yelling at his kid. That's what it was. So this week's how many was is going to be how many Hammer Down hotline calls will we have for next week's show?
I know there'll be at least one.
Speaking of the Hammer Down hotline, there it is, 419-318-3081. Feel free to call anytime, and we'll play back all the calls we get at the end of the show. We did not get any this week, so I got none to play back for you, unfortunately. I still keep hoping to get the, was it 9 Coronas? I was promised that there would be a singing message, but that has yet to come. So 419-318-3081. How many, how many, I can't even say it now. How many Hammer Down hotline calls will we have for next week's show? So again, 0's been pretty popular. That's been the past couple weeks. So, and
all of you picking 0, I can tell you right now, you're wrong, because there will be at least one.
So you may want to guess more than one. And if you already guessed, I'm sorry, you only get one guess.
I said it before you all started saying 0, so.
So if, well, we'll see. You never know. You could win a Big D's Pizza if you are closest. And if we have a tie, we have multiple people guessing the same thing, it's okay. Don't worry. We'll just spin the Big D's Pizza wheel of all the correct guesses and determine a winner that way. So, and this is a pretty shameless way to actually spark getting some calls to the Hammer Down hotline, which could be interesting. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about racing. It can be like, hey, the weather's great today. Or I got something on the bottom of my shoe. It doesn't smell very good. What do you think this is?
This is Peter from Quahog, Rhode Island.
Yeah, okay,
And I'm calling into.
It's not good when I can see you. It does. It's
No,
just
it doesn't.
weird. So again, to enter, all you have to do is find our Facebook Live video of this week's show and put your guess in the comments. If you're not listening to us live, if you're listening to us on a podcast, we'll give you until we'll go Wednesday on this one. You know, you have until Wednesday at 6:00 to get your guess in. So if you're listening to us over the weekend or early next week, then you still can get in on that. Just get your guess in by 6:00 on Wednesday, and there's no way to know how many calls that we'll have until you listen to the show next week.
No,
Even-
but you
even
can
I don't
always guess high and start making calls yourself. And
You could.
just
But no, well, let me put a stipulation on this though, just so you can't fix it. And I apologize if you already guessed, but this is my show and I get to make the rules. That Dean said so. Dean said so.
I'm good with that.
It's how many different people call. You can't call multiple times. Or 7 times. I see some guesses are pretty popular. It has to be different. You can tell your buddy to call and tell your buddy's buddy to call. So they have to be different people, and it does show the numbers. So I can see who's calling.
We do have caller ID.
Yeah. So if you call and then all of a sudden you call again and you sound like Peter Griffin, and it's the same number, that'll only count as once. So
I can't call once as Peter, one as Quagmire.
Well, you can, but you got to do it from different phones.
Okay. Got it.
So what do you got? What? Well, I guess I have to guess first since I won last week, don't I? Oh man, I have no idea now. I'm gonna go with 5. 5 is my guess.
I'm going 8.
Going 8? Okay, that's a good number. I like that number.
I bet you do.
What do you got, Ron?
Last week's winner said 7. I'm going with 7.
Oh, last week's winner. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you're okay. I got you now. You're not going to go with 35?
Mrs. Miller said 3.
Mrs. Miller says 3. Kathy's got 3. Okay. Tell your secretary not to get you sick again. Different phone numbers, Robin. Different. The calls have to come from different phone numbers. That's what I'm saying.
Lots of.
So I think we're all set on the rules there. With that, let's wrap things up here. Before we do that, mention that we got an upcoming race. It's almost race season. Attica Raceway Park will be racing in a few weeks, weather permitting. The Construction Equipment and Supply Night is scheduled for Friday, March 19th. 410s, late models, 305s. Get those cars ready. You only got a few weeks. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. And again, general admission, a little bit more for adults, $18. So keep that in mind. Rain date is Saturday, March 20th. So if there happens to be snow, it should be snow or rain, I think. But we'll be optimistic. Say rain date is March 20th, should the weather not cooperate on that Friday. So looking forward to that. Race season. It's already here.
Yeah. Yeah, and hey, if you want to go watch Devin Moran in action, March 19th, Atomic Speedway will have the Buckeye 50 with the Lucas.
And you're going to be
pumps.
there, aren't you?
Yes, definitely want to go down and check that out.
A full report. What did you say, Ron?
Well, I think Attica uses that Saturday rain date until some of the other tracks in the area start to open. So they'll be getting some shows in for sure.
Yeah, well, and they have the All-Star opener. Was it April 2nd and 3rd? So they're running both Friday and Saturday that weekend. So cool stuff. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer. He does a lot of work. A lot of stuff behind the scenes. Dave. Also, thanks to our field correspondents, Matt Swanner, Doug Dock. Next week on the show, who do we have, Jerry? Jerry put this one together.
Ernie Woodard, driver of the 01 stock car at Eldora, also running now a UMP modified. Ernie, multi-time track champion, multi-time feature winner at Eldora, Limaland. His dad, Al Woodard, one of the legends of Eldora Speedway. Should be a great chat with Ernie next week.
And we talked Hammer Down After Dark. Rick Eshelman, Gittins, old announcer at Oakshade, Eldora, Toledo Speedway. I did get in contact with him. He is interested in coming on. I tentatively have him scheduled for 2 weeks, but I'm probably going to push him back because I want to get Rex Lejeune on from Attica before they have their opener. So that's still up in the air, but hopefully 2 weeks from tonight we'll have Rex. If we can't get Rex on, maybe we'll have Rick on anyways. Either way, we got some interesting shows coming on down the line. Again, don't forget to give us a call on our Hammer Down hotline. Mess up how many for somebody. 419-318-3081. And you can find that number at hammerdownracingreport.com in case you forget it. Yeah. And if you're interested in being a sponsor, you can get a hold of us there as well at hammerdownracingreport.com. Thanks again to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, presenting sponsor of the show. Did you have something, Jerry?
Wanted to thank Tim Nichols, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, for allowing me to come to the Hillbilly High Banks again tonight. Hey, if you guys get around to the track, see Tim, make sure you go talk to him. One of the biggest race fans you'll ever meet. Always great to have fans around, and he'll have T-shirts and stuff later this summer on sale at tracks as well.
Also, thanks to Real Geese Silhouette Decoys again for helping us out. Check them out at realgeese.com, 419-800-8100. Millstream Speedway. Go bug Scott. See if we can get the Dirt Track Truck Series there.
Scott Warner.
Come on, man.
You got that TBA August 8th. It's perfect. Dirt Track Truck Series, 4-cylinder trucks.
MillstreamSpeedway.net. All his contact information's on there. I'm sure he's going to appreciate that. Sorry, Scott. Big D's Pizza out there in Clyde. They've been on board with us for the longest time now. We appreciate that. And, of course, Ryan Miller Race Cars as well. He's been with us since the beginning. Give Ron a call for all that safety equipment. I got to talk to you this weekend about getting some safety equipment there. 734-856-7223. So that's it. We're out.
We're out.
See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we're done. We're leaving, Ron. 7 o'clock next Thursday night. All right. Bye.
Bye. You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.